Kia ora bros and girls, welcome back to the channel. So I thought I'd just upload the boss videos for Variant 2 Chapter 1, and the first guy you come across is a tech symbiote. This is basically an Iron Man, and he's got enhanced SP1 and an SP1 bias. He is bleed and poison vulnerable, but he's quite tanky with plus 66% armor, so he takes a little bit less damage. Of course, if you're coming with Venom or Warlock, you're going to do a lot of damage through the bleeds. But like I said, I use the Thing OP team for the entire variant. And you'll see here. To be honest, when I was recording this was a while back actually, and it's probably it might have been my second variant that I finished. But when I was recording this, I was quite new with Thing, so I didn't play as aggressively as I would have liked. So I kind of dilly-dally a little bit at the start of the fight, but he is pretty easy there. Just once you build indestructible charges, there's not really a lot to it. You can evade the SP1, the SP2, do a bit of bleed damage. You don't really need Thing. You can take this guy on with practically anyone, really. Just a matter of evading the SP1, the SP2, and of course damage over time will help. The second boss is a little bit trickier, but it's not so bad. He's a mutant symbiote, and he's basically Cyclops. He's kind of got enhanced crits and enhanced SP1. So his SP1 will do a lot of damage, and his SP2, all his specials will do a lot of damage because of the enhanced crit. So once again, it's just really about evading this guy's SP1. With Thing, you're going to kill him way too quickly anyway once you get your indestructible charges. So you'll notice here, I'm just going to wait, and then once I'm at about kind of one life, I'm probably going to take some hits and build those indestructible charges. So I'm just fighting him normally. I wouldn't do this if I was playing now. I wouldn't really evade. I would just take all the hits up front and then just smash him in one. So this fight's a bit longer than I would like, but yeah. So here I get hit. I get actually clipped, and now I'm building up those indestructible charges, and I've got a few of them on me. I think about 6 or so. We'll go through the SP3, and I think I finished this guy really quite quickly with Thing straight after. So once again, he's pretty easy. If you're coming in with somebody else who doesn't do as much damage as Thing, then this fight is all really just about evading the SP1, or you can block the SP2 if you prefer. So he's less tanky, and he doesn't take that enhanced damage over time. So you just have to. It's just about getting rid of those SPs. And then that takes you to the final boss of Chapter 1, and the final boss of Chapter 1 is Magneto. He's on an increased power gain node, and he's also got enhanced SP2. So that means it's unblockable, and of course the SP2 comes with a heal block. Those are kind of really the only two things that are pretty difficult about this guy. The increased power gain is a little bit annoying, but again, you can use Warlock to power drain, to heavy bleed, to keep him power controlled. You can use Thing to just deal a heck of a lot of damage, or you can use Venom and just let the bleed over time, Venom or Venom the Duck, and let the bleed and the damage over time kind of take care of this guy. Again, like I say, this was early on in my experience with Thing. So this variant, I'm probably not super comfortable with Thing at this point in time. I haven't really used him enough to really know his full potential, his full capacity. So I'm trying to build up my rock stack charges here and trying kind of not to die, which is completely different to the strategy I would use nowadays. Nowadays, I would just go in and I would take the hits and build as many indestructible charges to begin with. I wouldn't do all this dilly-dallying at the start of the fight. And then I would build indestructible charges really, really quickly. And once you got a high number on that, then I would go to town. You still kind of have to. I mean, you're not going to do a ton of damage. Like, you're not going to finish him off in one, even if you're using Things. So you still have to do a little bit of evading here and there. And probably the SP1 affects you less as Thing or as bleed immune, because even if you miss it, you don't take the bleed. But it's pretty easy to evade the metal scrap when it comes at you. And the SP2 I find a little bit easier to evade personally. But you do have to distance yourself a little bit and just be like, again, about 2/3 from the screen, so that when he throws his hands up in the air, you can back away. But as you can see here with Thing, he's really not that big of a deal. So yeah, if you're struggling with this guy, hopefully this helped you out. And if it did, like, subscribe, and stay tuned. And we'll see you in the next one. Kakit down, no bros and girls.